very good morning to you on this Saturday morning. And I am so pleased to be here with my favourite man, the lovely John Lockwood. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
First time this year for me.
I know, we did our Happy New Year's and Merry Christmases earlier. It seemed very strange this point in January.
Exactly, the 22nd, I think it is, or whatever it is. Now then, you are very excited, and so am I, about our monthly mega deal. Because it is a deal, isn't it? Officially, we think, as far as we're aware, it's the best price for this amazing piece of equipment.
This is considerably lower than I paid for this one, which is mine 2 years ago.
And we had an email in, because you were asking for emails last night.
Yes.
And a lady said, I can't remember, Molly, do we know the lady's name on the email? Because she said exactly the same thing. But she doesn't regret it.
No, I don't regret it. Well, I loved this machine so much. Because this isn't a Crafts 2 product. It isn't a John Next Door, so it doesn't come through us. So I bought this, as everybody else did, full price, in a retail shop, you know, no offers or anything. I bought this, I bought it for more than you're doing it. I then, after 3 months of testing it, went out and bought 3 more.
No.
So this is my work one. So I'll move my thing out because you can actually see exactly how lovely and battered it is.
Well loved.
This is my demo one. Yep, so I've used this for 18 months on Hochanda, and people will have seen that.
Yes, indeed.
This is carried about the country upside down in a case. And I use it for demos and when I go to shows and when I used to do workshops, everything. I have one at home, which is my original. I've had 2 years.
Right.
And then I have 2 more for workshops.
I see.
Because I genuinely believe that when people do a workshop with me, they should use what I use. I don't like this, you know, oh, well, you can use a bit of sponge, but I'm going to use this tool. So I actually did, at full price, pay 4, and am now quite annoyed that you've got it less than I paid.
On this amazing, and I think we're the only ones that are doing it on the 3 monthly flexi buy deal as well.
Yeah, no, I had to pay up front.
Yes. But you could choose to do that. Now, you said it's one of the best, longest-lasting machines you've had, because obviously it's still going.
It is still going. I treat it abysmally. And I think that's one of the reasons why Hochanda actually asked me if I'd come in and go through the machine for them, for people. I treat it badly. Which is really bad, and please don't do that at home. But because I carry this around the country and bang it about everywhere, we worked out the one I'm using at home has got to be 2 years old, because we've been in the house over 2 years.
Which I was flabbergasted at.
Yeah, I know, because I remember talking about us moving and buying and living closer. And it puts up with everything. So I can honestly say, for the last sort of 18 months, nearly every sample you've seen made by me has been made on this. With the Go Power and Emboss. And every demo that I have done on air, on videos, on demos, if you've seen me at a show, at the NEC or anything, and this is what I've been using. And to me, that is a real commitment, because as somebody who's in the industry, this is a tool of my trade. You put your money where your mouth is. And if I'm going to pay out, and I'm used to buying a new machine every 6 months to a year. And my very first A4 machine, I replaced it every 6 months. Wow. Oh my gosh, because of the usage it was getting. Yeah, and because I broke it, because I pushed them to the limits. Well, let's tell everybody what we're getting. Cool. And then I know John's going to talk more about what you can do with this amazing Couture Creations Go Power and Emboss. Now, because it is the monthly mega deal, you are getting £10 off. And as John said, we are firmly of the opinion that that is the best deal you're going to get this fantastic creation at. We've also got the option of 3 flexible payments of £46.66. So you can spread the cost over January, February, March, but of course you get everything on that first payment. You will get all the plates that you need, which John is going to talk us through, obviously. Yours, your C and your A plate. You're getting 30 dies as well, 2 embossing folders at the bottom here. And you are getting a 12-month warranty on this die cutting and embossing machine, 880282. Now, John's with me today at 7 and 11 o'clock. Is that right, John? That's right, so if you've got any questions, or indeed if you've bought this, we'd love your emails in, because I know John was encouraging that last night, studio@hochanda.com. Or if you've got any questions about the Go Power and Emboss, because obviously John is going to go through everything that he possibly can in this hour, but of course there's always something we forget. There's always something that we don't know or we're unsure about and we're scared about. And certainly, you know, it is still a big investment. Yeah, you know, I mean, and a lot of people will be looking at, I mean, you know, I don't think there's a point in saying, you know, people are going to be new and this is your first machine. A lot of people are going to be using this to upgrade and upgrade the machines. And you want to know that what it can do and what can it do that's different than what I've got.
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
what are the advantages of it? And I think so. Fire your questions in. That's why Hochanda have asked me to come in.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing these shows, is so that we can actually give the support and answer your questions about it.
And what not to do, and what you did wrong, maybe when you first got it, or...
Because I'm, you know,
Crafter.
thankfully, as a personal, you know, as an individual, I've had the machine longer probably than anyone else that demos on here.
Excellent. Now, in fact, our lovely Hayley West bought one as well. She rang John and says, John, I'm thinking of getting this. And he's like, right, what you need to do? La, 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 la.
She actually rang me and said, is this a good deal?
Yeah.
And is this the machine that you're using and is it good?
There we go.
And I just said, straight back to Hayley. In fact, I've got it still on my phone. The message went back was, yes, it is, and yes, get it.
And she's on at H, so she'll be telling us as well. Yeah, absolutely. Now, we're already approaching 60% of the monthly mega deal, so it doesn't necessarily always last till the end of the month. So please, please, please do not miss out. We've also got some of John's fantastic dies on the show. Are we talking about that now, or... Right, OK, let's run through these. Now, I've heard John mention my first die here, because we're going to see these in action with the lovely John. And this is an amazing die. This is the scene, the square scene box die. Now, how does this differ from the other box dies, John?
What this is, this will create you a sort of half-inch box on its own with the flap at the front and everything else. So this gives you a perfect thing to put your flowers in, to make them protected, to put on the front of cards, to put your stamping in, to depth and dimension. And it was designed to fit with all of my, virtually all of my sort of medallion style, mandala style dies, all of the nesting ones that I do. But things like this, where you can put it on the front of a card and, as you see, turn it to the side, no foam tape.
No.
No edges showing. It's a really nice professional thing. We actually sold out of it twice.
That's
we
right,
have
John,
brought it back.
Yeah.
I think we brought it back in on Boxing Day. And I think you've got nearly all of the last of the stock we've got of it. But it allows you to make things like this that are not only nice on the front, beautiful, but they're nice from the side and the back.
Absolutely.
You know, if you don't actually sort of tear a piece as I did, well, I got that one box wrong. I knew that Chris would focus in on the one I got wrong, bless him. But it allows you to do this beautiful thing really, really simply, or like this, which I believe originally, if you open it, had jelly babies in. But Adam ate most of them on the last show.
I couldn't open up that box there. This is beautiful, John. If you use this in conjunction with the next die, I will say, if you're loving the framing on those boxes there. £23.99, 754 780. And as John said, we're pretty much of the opinion now, once that's gone, it's gone. Back. Sold out the first time it was on. Back, but with limited availability. Once it's gone, it's gone. Now, this is the framing in the beautiful boxes that you just saw, and I love this, John, because here as well you've elongated this one for the stamp.
It makes the perfect buckle cards. Things like this is actually a video tutorial online on Craft World, I think, of how to make that particular card. Yeah. And some of the others. So you can use it in so many different ways. It fits within the box. You can make the big box with it. You can tie it in with the box as it's been done here to give you apertures, make a little craft kit. Beautiful. So it works perfectly with it, and it's just a beautiful die, to be honest. I could say that about all of them on here.
7 dies in the box there, £9.99, 508 338. Then we have got the Oakham Classic Lattice, sorry, forgive me. Oh, this is beautiful. Love all those little pinpoints.
The little pinpricks. Yes. One of the reasons I selected this die, and we pulled these together, we pulled these dies together very quickly to show the machine, was show how much all of that detail is. Doesn't and it? How the machine actually cuts all of that detail. But you know, drawing all those dots nearly killed me. Because you've got to remember, I have to sit and draw each one. They're not, I don't just go, I'd like dots round here, please.
You think a machine would do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no. I do it on a computer and I have to put all the dots on and then they clean it up and everything. But I just think it's a beautiful, intricate die. And it's one of those ones that people love but think, oh, would I be able to cut that? I could struggle with that.
And the Go Emboss, the Go Power, I should say, will bring out all that fabulous detail. Not much of those remaining now. Please don't miss out. £16.99, 093252. Very popular. Now, the Oundle, so named after our area. This is so beautiful, John. Tell me about the Oundle.
So the Oundle started being drawn here in the green room. because you know, you've seen me doing it. I do a lot of my drawing here.
You never rest.
Yeah, I sit there with the computer and do a lot of drawing. And it reminds me of the round tower in the middle of Oundle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you know that. You know the one in the middle of the.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
so
a kind of a
we called it the
monumental
Oundle die because I just felt I'd started it here, and it was named really after Hochanda.
That's fantastic.
But
Isn't
again,
that gorgeous?
flexible on what you can do, but it shows a lot of the different techniques that you can do with die cutting that I think we forget about.
I love that. Look at these two, so different. Oh,
Exactly
gorgeous.
the same die, completely different looks. That's what we want. We want value.
Oh, say these samples. Sorry, I've got to get on, but these samples are so stunning. £15.29, 199560 for the Oundle there. The Woodford. Oh, the outer frame of this Woodford. And that is beautiful. Look at these circles, John.
I love that. So
why am I telling you? You designed it.
It's the same shape in the middle as the Oundle.
Yes.
So it will mix and match and mat and layer with the Oundle, but I wanted it to work on its own and work together. So you've got the sort of almost like arabesque pieces that go around the outside, but you've got that beautiful sort of, like you say, the circles punched out. But again, you can elongate even the background, click it back in, and double the background.
Look at, I love that you called it the arabesque. How beautiful is that? With those circles. God, this is a corker. This is my favourite. £12.59, 11 dies there, 946360. The chrysanthemum set of dies now. So this is the heads as well as the sort of this pop, the plate and the dies, yeah? The sort of poppy heads.
Yes, so you've got the chrysanthemum die, and then you've the poppy heads, which are the sort of individuals. That's actually a card made with the waste.
Really?
Yeah, so that's actually made from the waste. They've been cut in red and stuck on a black sheet, and again made with the waste from gilding flakes, but are here just tied in. But it just adds, I always think, to me, if you want to add a flourish or something to a men's card and you don't want to use flowers, use the poppy heads.
Oh, yes.
And the chrysanthemums, it's the first flower I've done that goes all the way to the centre. But again, hopefully either today at 7 or 11, I'll show you that. And I'll show you how we make those.
Beautiful, John. So for the double set there, £19.97, £3 saving. They are available individually, so have a little look on the web. 446462. We've got these on the web. John's going to be using them. They're little desk hoovers. Oh, I love them. Right, John, talk more about that. Those gorgeous dies are all on the website there. Have a little look. Fabulous savings. And there's our fantastic vacuum. So I'll be asking John, what do they vacuum up, John?
I use them. They were originally designed for getting your die-cut bits.
Yes.
That go everywhere. You know how when I tap a die, it goes everywhere?
Absolutely.
And one of the biggest mistakes we make when we're die cutting, I'm terrible for this.
Yeah.
You let one little bit stay on your plate, you cut something and it embosses into. A good machine will emboss a piece of waste into the card.
Oh, gosh.
And it ruins it.
That's it, done for.
Yeah, and basically, if you want that clean and simple, you've got to start getting a stick of butterfly on it. Or my new thing is stick a bit of washi tape on it.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's designed. So they're fantastic for that.
So and any bits of glitter or any bits of your flower flotsam and all sorts of little bits. So £9.99, we've got the blue, I believe we've got the pink one at the bottom of the screen, 197021. Now we're back at the monthly mega deal, and let's join John now to talk us through. I mean, I don't think there is any die it doesn't do, quite frankly, John, but you're here to talk about it.
The main thing that I loved about this is that it took and takes, to my knowledge, every die that's ever been produced in terms of style.
And you have been digging them out, John.
I have been digging them out. I was in Sally early yesterday morning, which is my sample shed that we keep on the decking at home. Yes, Sally the sample shed.
I didn't know that.
And of course, some of my older dies were right at the back.
I mean,
so everything had to come out.
You produce dies I've never heard of.
Yeah, no,
Makes
definitely.
I don't even know existed.
So this will take, because of the wide mouth aperture, this will actually take any die, as far as I'm aware, that's been produced that is A4 or bigger.
Right.
Yeah. Now, the reason is a lot of A4 aperture machines have an aperture that is A4. I'm going to show you with a plate. Can you see? Yeah?
Indeed, yeah.
You've got room in there, but you've actually got about 1/4 inch each side.
Yes, you have.
So if your die is slightly bigger, I'm going to grab now one of the quilting dies or fabric dies. This is one of the big dies. Yeah?
Chunky, deep,
so this is
huge.
a big die, and this is designed to go in, I think, the Big Shot Pro, which was the 12 by 12 machine. But if you look...
Wow. It can take
Yeah,
it.
whereas a standard A4, if you look, the plate is actually smaller
Yes.
than the width of that die.
You've got a frame, haven't you?
Yeah. So you've got that extra space around it. So it will take, and I will run through some of these, but it will take your standard thin dies.
Right.
Yep, so your standard thin etched dies.
Yeah.
It will take your large fabric quilting bigs dies, your steel rule dies as we call them.
Yes.
It will take, you see how much I've used this one, sorry. It will take, this is one of Mr. Holt's, your standard size bigs dies.
Your bigs dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will take, a lot of people haven't seen these,
No.
your mini bigs dies.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is thicker than a standard die.
Indeed,
this
yes.
was something that the companies did a few years ago.
Yeah.
So it is a steel rule die, but it's thinner and smaller, so it will take that.
Yeah.
It will take your original dies.
Will it take your scissors?
So you've got your Sizzix Originals red dies and green dies, which were slightly smaller.
Yeah.
It will take those.
Will it take your thinlets?
It will take your thinlets.
Yeah.
It will take your
Heartfelt Creations.
Heartfelt Creations. It will take your Heartfelt Creations moulds.
Those mouldy ones,
Yeah,
really?
it will take the moulds. It will also take any of your foiling machines.
No.
Yeah. So it will take, see, I'll take my B plate.
Yeah.
There we go. So it will take this is the Couture Creations.
Yeah.
You can tell that's mine, can't you?
It's all well loved.
But it will take your foiling machine, but it will take all of your foiling machines.
Gosh.
Basically, because of the way the aperture works and the way you can combine with the plates, it will take any of the dies. As far as I'm aware, I don't know everything.
You've yet to come across one that it doesn't.
I haven't come across anything that I've tried or I've wanted to use.
Yeah.
And these are genuinely my products, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, they come out Sally the Shed.
So these have, some of these have been, where is he? Where is she? My favourite. This is one of my favourites. This is always in my craft room. This is one of my favourite sort of Tim Holtz ones. We, as crafters, we buy from everywhere.
Yeah, of course you do.
So that's used all the time, but I've even gone back to some of the bigger ones that I didn't use.
Yeah.
Because I would say I was lucky. I bought a big 12 by 12 machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least said I.
You were mentioning wood
thinking that would do everything.
You said wood dies. I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, the original wooden dies. If anyone remembers back, a long, long time ago, they made dies in wood with like a steel cutting edge on the top of them with little bits missing. It will take those.
Wow.
So it will take any of those. I even pulled out one here. This is like the really extra long.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So this is one of the extra long, extra large ones. Yeah, so this, it will take that. But what I'm going to do is I will go through that because I need to show you how to put a big die through.
Yeah.
Because you do need to add an extra plate to do that.
Right.
That isn't in your original combination.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will show you what you can do.
So it can accommodate
So that it can accommodate it.
Brilliant. And we'll be cutting all sorts of the craft metal and material and whatever else John can find behind him. So if you've got any questions, I think we've answered the one about the Sizzix, then do let us know, and John's here to help. We've had a question about the plates and the life of the plates. So this will tie in nicely with what John's just said. So do you want to take us through the plates then?
Yeah, that's actually really, that's almost like telepathy.
Sue knew what we were going to do next.
Yeah, because the next thing I was going to go through was the plates. So what I've got here is, these are the plates that came with the original demo machine.
Right.
Yeah, that I think, was it Zoe used?
Yes, right, okay.
That Zoe used on Tuesday.
Right.
So these are, let's call it a week old.
Yes.
Yeah, to be fair. So these are a week old. And this is the full combination of the plates. Yeah. These are mine that I've had with this machine since I bought it 18 months ago.
Gosh.
Okay. So these are my plates as compared to the original ones, and again, I'd rather than say, oh, a brand new set. So these are the week's use. This is, we'll say, well over a year.
Yeah.
It's worth of use, and that's heavy on TV use and demos and everything else.
Workshop, yeah.
So the longevity, to be honest, in the plates I've personally found has been brilliant. I haven't replaced any.
Right. Okay.
And I haven't had to.
That's an accolade.
But there is a couple of tricks that you need to do.
Right.
So one of the things is this, you've got a B and a C plate. So I'm going to take you through with the slightly neater ones.
And we get those in the kit, don't we?
You get all of these in the kit.
The B and the C.
Yeah, you see, this is what you don't want.
You need your little hoover.
That wasn't timed or planned. I didn't realise these weren't clean. It's actually really important to keep them clean, but let's get those 2 bits. There we go. Come on. Oh, I love static electricity, don't you? Right,
really
so
helpful, not.
let's go through them individually. So you get your A plate, which is your thick base plate. Yeah.
Right.
So this is what's going to be the platform for most things. So this is what will take all your thin dies and your thinner bigs dies and things like that.
Right.
Yep. So you've got your A plate. You then have your B plate. Yeah. Which is a 5mm thick plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You then have your C plate, which is a 3mm plate. You're then going to get your embossing mat, which is the thickest one I have ever seen.
It is, isn't it?
And I'll be showing you how we can actually utilise that. Because I don't really emboss dies. I find the machine does it enough for me without.
Right.
And again, I'll try and show you that. Then you get your universal metal adapter plate. Now, I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to open this one. The first important thing I found on this is the edges have been filed and chamfered.
Oh, right.
So please do not do this at home.
Yeah.
But this is a new one out of the packet, and watch.
Because sometimes they can be really sharp on those corners, John.
They can.
I've seen it,
I wouldn't have the confidence to do that if I hadn't got it at home and tried it myself, but not tried it with this plate. So first of all, as much as it can, please be careful, and please don't try and cut your hand with it.
No.
But
you can see that
it's all been finished and chamfered, and you will use this when you're cutting fabric.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of quilting and you are a fan of Hayley,
hence her asking you about the machine.
You will love this next month when Hayley's back on, and that's the only hint I'm giving you.
Okay.
And so what you would do is you would cut fabric into this.
Yeah.
Because that stops the fabric stretching. It can stretch on the plates.
Ah.
But you would also use this for any intricate dies where you need that little bit of extra help.
Right.
Or with my machine, over time, all machines loosen a little bit.
Of course, yeah.
So mine at home, if anyone's watched, has seen that at home, I now use that more and more, and I use an extra shim on it because I've really hammered my machine. So what you're basically so that is basically for doing, adding extra pressure. Yeah. So I'm going to take those 2 away. So all you need to remember when you're cutting a standard die, is C plate.
C plate.
Down first.
Now, is this in the instructions anyway, John?
Right.
Is it?
I'm not sure how the instructions go.
I'm just in case.
I'm not going to pretend.
Right. Okay. I'm just having a little look here.
I don't read instructions.
Well, it's got the die cutting sandwich, and yes, it does. You know, and your emboss folder sandwich, so it does tell you. Sorry, I'm not showing anybody. I'm just reading. So you've got some very simple instructions there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, I found if your C plate, because it's 3mm, goes on top of your B, then what happens is this can warp because it's thinner, the amount of pressure in the machine. So you constantly have to keep rotating and moving that round.
C goes on top
and I have one at home that I didn't know that at first, and it is bowed. Still works. Yeah. So what you do is you would naturally go A, B, C. Yeah. But of course, this is from Australia, so you go ACB.
ACB.
Yeah. So what I would do is do that. I'm going to put down a die because I'm going to show you a simple die cut.
So, and this is something you've found from using it.
Tell you what, let's do the middle because that's got all the detail,
isn't it? Using
it. This is what I found from you. So I'm going to put my die down. I'm going to tape it down. Okay. I'm going to put it in the top corner. I would always go to the edge, regardless. Yeah. I love it when they get a new machine on and they show you, put it in the middle, get into good habits. Okay, because over time, that's the best place.
Now, we're approaching 2/3 of the monthly mega deal already gone, 2/3 already gone, so please, please, please don't miss out. We've got on 3 flexi-buy payments as well, and as John said right at the top of the show, as far as we're aware, this is the best price you can physically get it for. He spent more himself when he originally got it 2 years ago, but he's still happy about that. So
I wasn't. At the time, I was thinking it was quite a good deal for a brilliant machine anyway. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that in, until it hits a wall. Yeah.
What do you mean by a wall, John?
So when you push it in,
yeah. Oh, as in literally
it won't
just
go
stops
any further.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to engage anything inside.
No.
You are just pushing it in.
Till it reaches where it can go no further.
You've got 3 buttons on top, run, off and reverse. Yeah. And all you're going to do is press run.
Run. And it just feeds itself
and
through.
it will feed itself. If it doesn't, you've not pushed it up enough, you just give it a little push.
Okay.
Yeah. So it runs through. This machine, as I say, has been tracked terribly. It's 18 months old, and this is the noise it makes.
It's nice. It's not too noisy. It's very quiet, John, consider it's 2 years of constant usage.
2 years of my usage.
I was being polite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So my machine, as I said, has been going a little while. So I've asked it to cut an awful lot. But can you see all those dots through?
Yeah, and we've only gone through once.
So all those dots through. Yeah? So I'm just going to rotate this and go through again because I want to show you the reverse function.
Which one are you using of your dies there, John?
I'm using the Oakham because it's got the most detail.
The Oakham, thank you.
So, again, engage, run. Now, you'll hear it and you'll actually almost hear when it's gone through. And if you want to bring it back, press reverse.
Okay.
Not stop or anything else,
No.
just reverse.
Okay.
And it will reverse it. To be honest, I use it really infrequently.
Right.
At home, I have mine originally on a Lazy Susan.
Okay.
So if I couldn't get that, I could just spin it
twirl
round a little bit.
That's a genius tip, that is.
But you can see there, so we've gone through. And can you see how tight that is?
That's proper squidge to it, yes.
That really
Yeah.
is. So I'm going to put the little thing underneath just to sort of start to release it.
Yeah.
You can see why I chose this die.
Absolutely. I mean, it's practically embossed it into it.
Well, this is the great thing is there's the embossing mat in there, but I don't have to emboss it. Can you see? There.
Oh, look at all of those.
But all those, and again, let me just grab my pokey tool.
Yeah.
And show you the little bits out. Okay, so there we go. But first of all, you can see all of that's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fine detail.
But all, because I hate it when it's sort of, you know, think you don't show everything, yeah? But all, you see those holes?
Gosh.
All the way through.
Every single one. Yeah.
All the way through to the back. Yeah, so I could
Fantastic.
stitch through those if I wanted to, but I haven't had to emboss that die, and it's got that chamfered embossed finish because the pressure's high.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's your simple
Regular, just going for a die.
regular
die that
go
we'd have
through
at
for a
home.
die.
Yeah, don't forget 2/3 of the stock has gone, and he's using his little hoover there, £9.99. They've got pink or the blue there. They're on the website as well. Alison has asked, can you use different... Oh, so if you've got some of your own machine plates, you know, could you use those plates in this?
You can, and I genuinely, this is going to look at home like we have a script. I promise you, at 6 o'clock this morning, we were all far too tired to start planning a script for this show.
First words were, I need a coffee, I need a tea.
To be fair, Molly, the producer, only realised that we were doing this show, and I was doing it when she saw me put it on Facebook last night.
Right, there we go.
So she messaged me at 8 o'clock last night
because
to say, oh, I'm with you in the morning, I didn't know. Sorry, are you all right?
No, it wasn't scheduled, John.
She didn't know, it wasn't on the schedule.
No,
but we'd had so many questions in. It's literally 2 days ago.
It's true.
Hochanda said, John, you know about this machine. Can you come and answer the question for people?
It's true.
So, yes, you can use plates from other machines and other companies.
Because they'll be the A4 size, won't they, generally?
Well, I probably get shot for saying this by Couture, but I have. This is a Spellbinders.
Right,
Yeah, this is a Spellbinders from the Platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is from an old Cuttlebug.
Oh, Cuttlebug.
Yeah.
There's a name,
I've also used them, and I've brought in A5 versions because I'm going to show you the big styes. So I've brought these in. There's a whole pile of plates over there.
Yeah.
That hopefully that most of them will work. But effectively, the one that you're actually looking for is your C plate. Yeah?
Yeah.
And that is 3mm, but this sandwich of 5mm and 3mm is a standard sandwich across the industry.
Right, OK,
so,
5 and 3.
I've actually been working a long time on machines. Yeah, and it's always worth having a look in March. Yeah, not comparable, different beast.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not oh, this and then that. No, they're both, you need these both together sort of thing.
Right, okay.
But the standard sandwich coming from every machine that we've looked at has been 5mm and 3mm.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's the way you need to work it. And certainly I measured this plate this morning and it was 3mm.
Great. So that's a good question, that. Good to know that.
But, because the reason is you want to cut a big sty.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now, what you'll find with a standard big sty, your B and your C are too thick.
Ah, so this is where, was this the answer to maybe this will be the time when you would need to get an extra plate or use one that you've got at home?
This is where you would need to get an extra plate or use an existing plate.
Yes.
I would hate to say to someone, oh, you need to buy an extra plate.
If you've got
now.
one at home, yeah.
Yeah, so let's go with the
lovely Mr. Holtz's.
The lovely Mr. Holtz's, yeah. So it's down on the B, card on top, C on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No base. If I put that... Nope. It will stop and bring it back.
Yeah.
My machine, it might take it.
Yeah. Because it's had so much abuse over the years, no offence.
But what it does...
Yeah.
You look here, can you see?
Started, hasn't it?
It has, but look what it's done. That has pushed so far into the plate.
Oh, it's actually sort of nestles into the plate. Oh my, my what?
Yes.
Oh gosh. That machine's got some welly, John.
Oh, it has. Well, if you look now, can you see the imprint?
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Your plate's not going to last long.
No, because that's how sharp these dies are. So, what you do is you would use 2 C plates, or you use a C plate. Yeah, this is 300 GSM card I'm using.
Right.
So you would use a C plate and you would use one of the plates, the 3mm plates from one of your other machines.
Okay.
If you've got a Cuttlebug, a big shot.
Yeah.
If you've got even some of, you know, any of the manual machines, check, you'll find they're 3mm. But if we watch now...
So if you don't want to go out and buy another C plate, or which of course you can do, just have a little shufty round if your other machines or the plates you might have.
Yeah, exactly. You will find something you've got.
Right.
You know, if you're a die cutter, this is an upgrade for most of us.
Yeah.
You know, my first A4 machine was not my first machine, it was an upgrade.
Right.
But if you watch, the other thing is, look, this has got the smaller plate on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with a lot of electronic machines, they have 2 little hooks there.
Right.
That have to be engaged for the motor to work.
Ah. For it to go through,
yeah.
right.
So you can't put a smaller plate through that way. But watch this. Oh, go on. Don't play me up now. You've done it. Oh, yeah. I think I might have hit the wrong...
Did you press reverse there?
I hit reverse.
That's why.
But watch, it pulling
that poor
through.
machine, John.
Thank you. Thinking, this works. This is what I do at home. But that took that through, and there are my die cuts. But can you see, it actually took through...
Well, you were able to separate the plates for a start.
So you see here,
yeah,
it's not quite finished it off.
Okay.
Okay, because again, it's my machine. So what would I do? Well, I would just take the metal shim that's supplied with it, add that on,
just
let's get another piece of paper,
or two. Yeah.
Put that on, because your big dies tend to not, your big dies tend to prefer to cut your grey board.
Yeah, well, they're a deeper, they're essentially made
sharp.
for deeper.
Yeah, and they are made, they are designed,
they
are a different beast to a thin die.
Yeah.
So I'll just run that through. Oh, and they, well, there you go, you see.
Straight through.
Because the button's just fallen out
on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
get
start
another...
low and increase up. So there is a standard-sized big die going through.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we know we can use those, but we've got these older originals and older
all sorts
sort of dies as well.
Sally Supply Shed. Now we're approaching 70% of the stock gone, just to flag that up, because I'm absolutely fascinated. So please don't miss out. We've got on 3 flexi-buy payments of £46.99. You are getting all of the plates here that you will need, the A, B and the C, the embossing mat there, the metal shim, 2 embossing folders, 30 dies, and of course this fantastic machine as well. We're confident that it's the lowest price we've seen here in the UK for this right now as it stands, and we're the only ones that we're aware of that do it at the 3 flexi-buy payment as well. £139.99 one-off payment, but you get it all on the first flexi-buy payment if you want to spread that over January, February, March of £46.66. And if you've got any questions, John's with me at 11 o'clock on, obviously, as well. So this is great to know that it uses with all our existing dies and our other plates as well. Now, you mentioned, I know you'll probably come on to this, John, because you're talking about another die there. Sue's had a request to show the fabric as well.
Right, I'll do this and then I can show you the fabric, Sue.
Lovely,
that
yeah.
actually then proves that we've not scripted it.
No,
this is what I've
no,
prepped
exactly.
next.
And Hayley would like that as well, because that's why she's got one, isn't it?
So what you have to do, it's like trial and error.
Right.
So you could write a big list and you won't remember. So this one to go through, well, it's a little bit thicker, isn't it?
Yes,
so
it is, yeah.
Perhaps then if I try it with the B and C, and the thing is, if I try it with these, so if I put the standard sandwich on, so I put the C plate down, I put that on top, put the card on, it won't take it if it's not right.
Right.
And if it gets too far and it's not right, it will reject it.
If it doesn't like it,
and what it does when
right.
it rejects it, all three lights will flash, and it will reverse it back to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
As in reject. Reject. You don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, no, see?
No, spat that out, didn't it?
Yeah. It knows.
Not H-A-P-P-Y.
Because there's no tags here that make it run. The sensor, the run button, see that's still running? The sensor, it works when you press run, the rollers run.
Yeah.
And if they get pushed a little bit away, it will reject and flash. So you don't have to engage anything, which is one of the things I used to have to do with one of the other machines.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I know that's wrong. So I'm going to try it actually with taking the C plate out. Take 3mm out, because that looks quite deep.
Yeah.
And we'll put that on and we'll try that.
Okay. If it likes this better.
Oh, well, it likes that.
It does. That one's going through nicely,
So it's
John.
taking it, so we'll see if the pressure's right. And it doesn't look to me as if it is. So it's not cut through because it's not giving it enough pressure. Yeah. So it's gone through, but it's not giving it enough pressure.
Okay.
So I will then add in my metal shim.
Yeah.
That
It's
comes
a process
with it.
of elimination, isn't it?
It is. It's a case of
yeah.
learning your machine. But the combination of plates and the fact that you're not having to engage
Yes.
makes a real difference. And that's what I found at home, was I could press it and run. So at this point now, it's not, again, nope. It's put an impression in this time.
So we're still not thick enough yet.
The plate. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a piece of grey board.
Okay.
Which we've got, or a few pieces of paper. Yeah. Don't feel that because, you know, the combination of plates you're using isn't working for your die, that either there's something wrong with your die or there's something wrong with your machine. Just don't feel, oh, well, what can I do? Just shim it.
Yeah.
This has got the pressure.
Yeah.
It will, if you've got it wrong and you've put too much in, you won't hurt the machine, it will reject it.
Yeah, it just won't like it.
And I would rather it reject it and say it's not right, and me play a bit and get the cut I want. But there we go. And there's my cut through.
Fab. Fabulous. Now, because people join us all at different times, John, and we often find this for the early hour. Was it Christine, darling, did you say? Christian. That might have missed our run through. So, with very quick adept. Yes, clarity. Could you just take us through all the different dies again?
I can. So what you're going to find is this will take all of your big dies.
Yep.
Yeah, all of your standard dies, which are far more common, and it's what we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll take all of your standard John Next Door, Crafts 2, Press Cut. I'm trying to think, you know, some of the others, your Sue Wilsons,
yes,
you know,
just all those brands.
All the brands, it will take all of those. It will also take all of the different sizes of the big dies and the different styles of dies done. It will take the heartfelt flower moulds.
The moulds, yes.
So the moulds will run through because of the way it's wide. It will take...
We had the Sizzix we mentioned.
Your foiling machines.
Your foiling machines.
So it will take your foiling machines through. So basically, it will take, as far as I'm aware, everything we use in the crafting world like that.
Your embossing folders.
Yeah, it will take your embossing folders. It will take
the 3D
embossing
those
folders.
Like the flower moulds from
the flower
moulds.
It will take the Spellbinders foiling machine.
Yeah.
It will take the original one, because Couture Creations invented the whole idea of these.
Yes,
it will take the original one of those, if you've got the original one. So it will take anything of those. So far, I haven't found anything that it won't, that I want to do. And all you have to do is play, as we were saying there, with your plate combination.
Yeah,
so Sue had asked about fabric.
Yes, let's do some fabric.
Okay, so I'm actually going to use... let's go for a big one, shall we?
Why not? Why not?
If you've got an option, go for the largest.
Big scissors.
So here I've got, this is some calico pulled from my stash last night.
So it's a sturdy weight of material, basically, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
It's like your canvas,
it's not,
isn't it?
we're not talking, this is your poly cotton blend. This is a pure cotton calico. It's what I stamp on, which is why I have it when I do stamping on fabric. So it's not a thin weight. So I'm just going to... Should we trim that down to the right sort of size? Let's be sensible. If you've got thin fabric dies, it will cut your thin fabric dies. Yeah, and they're my paper scissors. But doesn't matter as long as I don't use my fabric scissors for paper.
Yeah.
And Sam knows where they are. And I managed to get him another pair from Mill Shop online, so he's got a pair of fabric scissors as well.
I hide them, John, I hide them.
Yes, I've got mine hidden in the craft cave somewhere else.
Hide the fabric scissors.
Yeah. Now, with a big die, I don't need to use the metal shim unless it doesn't cut through.
Right, OK.
OK. If it doesn't cut through, then I would use that as well.
Right.
But that's for your thin fabric dies and your multimedia dies, which are slightly different. So what I need to do on this one, I'm going to try. Remember I said on the bigs, it's 2 C plates. Yeah. So it's a C plate and a plate, you know, equivalent to it. And I'll probably have Andrew from Australia ringing me and telling me it must be the C plate. It's your choice. I mean, you were talking about as well our lovely sweet poppy stencils as well. Yeah, I was going to show you how we emboss. This is the great thing about the embossing mat. I don't use it to emboss dies. Yeah. One of the things I want to show you is I'll show you the square scene box and how well it doesn't need embossing. Great. Okay. Yeah. But so there is my calico. Yeah. Can you see? There's 2 little jugs there. They're actually in the actual die. Yes. Because you may not want to cut that out if you know with your fabric and yet. Yeah. Yeah. But just keeps it in place, there we go. So there's my Christmas stocking. Yeah. There's my top, and again, that's held in 2 places. So if you're doing your quilting, like our lovely Hayley's got a fantastic show, one day special coming up. You know, if you need a repeat pattern of a hexagon or anything like that, they're fantastic for that, aren't they? So there's my toe piece. Yeah, and there's my top piece. Lovely. So that's gone through. So that's cut my fabric. Amazing. But the great thing about these as well is these will cut, and I want to show you. So again, I'm using 2 Cs, but it will cut. This is grey board. Mm-hmm. Can you see? It's thick. How thick that is? It's sturdy, yeah. So again, I'm going to cut 2 Cs, that going through. If it doesn't like it, it won't go through. If it doesn't like it, it will reject it. Yeah. It's not even a case of it will, you know, you won't get it through, because we push it till it stops anyway to start it, or to put it in. But if it doesn't like it, it will reject it. But there we go. Look at that, sliced like through butter. But you do need a really decent pressure. I know the dies are very sharp, but to get a big die to actually cut through something like that, you do need a decent pressure, because I tried with an old manual machine I got and I could not get this one to cut. No, and I've chosen this one because this is the most intricate big die I own. I've had this over 12 years. Wow. So it's not new. It has been very well used. In fact, if you go back on my blog, you'll see this used on one of the very first posts like 8-9 years ago. Oh, wow. But you can see there. That lovely, the clock face. That's gorgeous. So that's the distressed clock face. So we can go through with that. It's really simple. So embossing with a stencil? Yes, let's do it. I'll have a quick reminder. So we've got this on 3 flexi-buy payments. It's our monthly mega deal. It may not last the end of the month because 70%'s already gone. We've also got the best price possible for you, £139.99, and we split that into 3 flexi-buy payments of £46.99 over January, £46.66 over January, February and March, 880282. And remember, if you're a Freedom Club member, that's all included in your delivery price there as well. Get all the plates, you get your 2 embossing folders and 30 dies as well to get you started. If you want some extra dies, John's got his
gorgeous John Next Door Crafts 2 dies. We've got this lovely, the square scene box die set, which I know John's going to use in a moment, for making those beautiful boxes as well, or those frames on your cars. Absolutely gorgeous. Now that is very limited. When it's sold out, when it did sell out before, so it's been brought back, but limited availability, and once it's gone, it's gone, just to highlight that. We've got the Woodford, yes, that beautiful Woodford with those circles. I love. Oh, and that. What did you call that bit around the outside? That lovely word?
It's got an arabesque look to it.
Arabesque, yes.
But you actually get 3 strips of that in, so it's easier than just having one to repeat it. You've got a lot more to repeat with it on. Gorgeous.
That's my favourite. That one. £12.59. 946360 for Stanford. So much elegance. Really beautiful. 7 dies in that one, and I love John elongating that, like the buckles. £19.99. 508338. We've got the Oakham lattice as well. A stunner there as well. 5 dies there for £16.99. 093252, and you've got saving on the chrysanthemum and the poppy heads there as well. And as John was saying, the poppy heads make a great one for the gentleman's cards as well. £19.97. I love that one with the waist, just using the waist on that. 446462. Right, back to you, John.
Right, so what I've got this time is, this is the A plate, so this is your thick base that you would use for everything thin.
Yeah, and that's included in
This
there,
is your embossing mat, and as I said, can you see how thick that is?
Yes, it is.
It's so much
thicker than normal ones,
It is thicker than normal. When I first got it, I thought, are they having a laugh with this? Genuinely.
Not 2 stuck together.
That's it. Is just 2? Have they put the wrong one in?
Have they given me a yoga mat?
Yeah, is this packing? Because it is literally so thick. But it works seriously well. I mean, as I say, the idea of the embossing mats is to emboss your dies, and some dies like that.
Yeah.
I designed mine so that they don't need it, but I've found with all of mine in this machine, I don't need to emboss them.
Wow.
Can if you want, but I don't gain anything from it.
Anymore, yeah.
Not anymore, it's not as necessary. But they are great for doing this. So here I've got a stencil. This is I think this is a Sweet Poppy metal stencil. Yeah, so, which again, I bought when I was just, you know, that little space between lockdowns.
Yes.
I managed to get to a friend's craft shop. That was hanging on the wall. I was like, I'll have that, because you'd sold out.
Freedom, yeah.
So I'm going to put the die down. Yeah, okay. Now, I always, and I know if Mrs. Duck's watching, she'll be shouting at the screen, because she knows this better than I do, and I always, first time get it the wrong way. Oh. So I've got to, I try and remember, it's embossing mat, card, well, we'll see. We'll try each way. Die. Okay, and then I'm going to try the C plate.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is your best thing to do. Always do this. So I'm showing it. Can you see there?
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
It's going in. It's not hitting the wall.
No.
Yeah, so that's obviously not right.
Ah, it's not butting up.
If it's not butting up and it's just going through, then
something's not right.
If it's not hitting the wall, it's not right.
No.
So it'll tell you if it's too thick, but you can tell yourself if it's too thin, because it won't hit the wall.
Now we heard that, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Run. And what this will do is this will push. Can you see the mat expanding? And the pressure.
I didn't.
It's getting longer.
Wow. Okay. I saw it sort of.
You'll see by the time it comes
out. Yeah.
Look.
Oh yes, look.
So always make sure that you've not got your mat hanging out one side. You don't want it to be grabbed or something.
Right. Okay.
Can you see there? Then, if I hold this one up, can you see that there?
Ah, yeah. If you just tilt that forward a little bit more for us. Thank you, John. That's perfect. Yeah. Gosh. Beautifully
done. It's done absolutely perfectly.
That's
but of
gorgeous.
course, we don't have to have a metal stencil.
Yeah.
So here I've got one of my Mylar stencils.
Yeah.
And the same idea, but this time I'm going to use a piece of thick parchment or vellum.
Oh, lovely.
To make sure that's not too, yeah, that is very thick. Okay.
Oh, now that is quite thick.
Yeah, it is thick. So put it on. We'll see what it's like. It doesn't actually matter where you place your stencils, because you're not trying to cut. It doesn't have to be like a die.
Okay.
But I have got myself into the habit over like 6-10 years.
Right.
It's always to me top left. Invariably, it's top left.
Yeah.
And it's a good habit to get into.
This is true. Yeah.
You know, I've said this many a time. It doesn't matter who's sort of doing the machine and who's telling you about it. There's a lot of times they'll say, best pressure ever, and it will maintain its pressure over years. Machines don't. You know, they will always have the law of physics. I found the middle of this is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that problem of things not cutting in the middle at all.
Okay.
But, you know, to me, I've always got in my mind, there'll always be better pressure down the sides because that's where the rollers are held.
Yeah.
But you can see there, and trust me, I've used one, of course, that's been, but can you see?
I can see it already, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, you can even see the tiny little dots.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the point.
That's on thick vellum,
yeah.
isn't
so
it? Yeah.
that's just a piece of vellum going through.
It's almost
and
as thick as the mylar, isn't it?
if I want that a little bit, let's say I want that a little bit crisper. This is the thing about the machine. So let's try we'll use this one on a piece of the thick vellum. Yeah, but I want this to be, I want to get it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I want to put a little bit more pressure through it? So I'm going to actually add in. Where are we? Let's use mine, because I've used mine. Because yours isn't. So let's add in the shim.
Oh,
let's just increase the sandwich a little bit more.
Yeah.
If it doesn't like it, it will reject it.
It won't do it, yeah.
We put that in, and we go through and we run it.
There we go.
And that's running through. It's not rejected it. It's not said, no, what are you doing, John? Stop it.
It's gone straight through. And if you've got any questions for John, John's going to be with us at 11 again. We've got the monthly mega deal again. We had some great questions this morning, and it might be that you missed the answers. So do email them in. We'll pop them on the Facebook, and we'll answer as many as we can, of course. Even if you've already bought it and you want to tell us what you thought about it as well, because you love it as much as John does. Ah, yes, that even deeper impression there.
So one last quick one, because I did say I would do it. I want to show you the box die.
Yeah, the fantastic box, your box die.
A plate,
Yep.
C plate down,
Yep. So this is your traditional, what you do for your dies, any of your dies
I'm going to use a piece of 300 GSM craft card.
Quite sturdy then.
Yeah, because again, you know, I don't want to do that, so I don't want to sort of, you know, try and make it look as if I'm making it easier or anything.
Yeah.
B plate on top, because just remember, if it's going to hit the roller, it wants to be the B plate most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, certainly in a standard sandwich with the A plate.
Got it.
So you always think A on the bottom, B on the top.
And they've got some little instructions anyway in your booklet here, and it's got your 12-month warranty. Busy for this lovely die set as well. Now remember, this sold out the first time it was on the screen, 754780, the first time it was on the show. This is a limited availability in terms of what's remaining. Then once it's gone, it's gone. So please don't miss out. At the bottom of the screen there, £23.99.
So what I wanted to show you is, okay, can you see on the back the lines are there?
Oh, yes.
Show you on the front.
Scoring.
All those scoring lines.
Wow.
The pressure is that high.
Gosh.
And remember, this is not a brand new machine.
No.
This is mine.
2 years old, well thumbed,
You know, but watch, I don't have to even use a score tool.
Gosh.
Because the lines
so
are there.
defined, aren't
it's
they?
a combination of a... I would not normally say this, but I will do. To me, it's a combination of a well-designed die, which I never say about my own stuff, because you know how embarrassed
they are very well designed.
I get about it, and a good machine, and the conjunction of those two is the best a crafter's friend. But even these little tabs, watch.
Yeah.
You see?
Folds straight in for you to create your
Folds.
box. Yeah, frame, yeah.
Straight over on the lines that they need to fold.
Yeah. Finds that fold exactly, doesn't it?
So that would
beautiful
fold up, and if I want to, and this is where I'm going to use it in my machine, it's sort of the last thing I want to show you. I'm going to cut the Stanford together into it, because never ask for too much. So if I put these on together with the die itself, it's going to ask too much of the machine.
Right.
So I'm going to put this on now. It's done and folded, but those lines have come through so well that
you're going in for a second time, despite
I'm going in for a second
to
time.
Keep your scoring. Yeah.
It's an intricate die, and I've had my machine, so I'm not going to risk it on TV. I'm going to put my shim on, and if the machine doesn't like it,
it won't go through.
It won't accept it. It will just reject it. Genuinely, it will reject it. And the thing is, it's really quiet.
Yes,
it feels slow, but it's actually really quick.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is It's quicker than me
Yeah,
manually
I mean, I
winding
tend
around.
to do is I run two machines
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I have an A5 manual there, and I have that running with the big bits, and then I run Foo Flowers through on that one.
Right, John's back with us at 11 o'clock just while he's showing us this gorgeous, gorgeous dye there, the Stanford. So do watch again and we'll be able to answer more questions about your Couture creations. Don't forget, over 70% of the monthly mega deal has already gone. Hayley West has bought one. She's coming up next. So if you've got any questions for John, who loves these, who's actually bought 4 of these, then there's the proof is in the pudding.
So
Look at that.
we've cut with no problem, the folds and everything, and that to me is the combination of the dye and a brilliant machine.
John, you're super duper. Thank you so much. Don't forget, any questions, John will be with us at 11 o'clock. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Don't want you to miss out on that monthly mega deal. Let's see what's coming up.